It's Friday the 3rd of March, this is Mad About Manchester, and this week, shopping in the rain. Yes, we all know that Manchester is famed for its great shopping, but we also know it's famed for its somewhat drizzly weather. So this week, I'm going to give you a little tour on how to get the most out of your shopping experience whilst getting away from those grey Manchester clouds. Shopping in the rain, just shopping in the rain. So if you're coming into Manchester shopping in the car, you know it's always a problem. Parking is expensive and the traffic is a nightmare. So here's my tip. Don't quite come into the city centre, just stay in the Castlefield area just near the Hilton. There's all day parking there for £4, that's £4. Go in town into an NCP and you could be paying triple that amount. So let's say you're starting off near the Hilton. I know this isn't undercover, so you may get a little drizzly, but if you also want to find an NCP that is undercover, hit the Great Northern Warehouse, where the parking there is a little more expensive, but at least it's all undercover. And whilst you're at the Great Northern Warehouse, why don't you try out all the great stuff there? Get a burger down at Almost Famous, some cakes down at Home Sweet Home, watch a film if that's going to stop all your stopping time. Don't watch a film, take too long. Watch a film at the end. Then head down Deansgate. Deansgate again is not undercover, so I'm afraid this is where your super emergency brolly needs to kick in. There are loads of great shops. Don't forget to check out Tapio and Wine if you want some sort of Spanish amazing cuisine. And trundle on down to the Kendals. Yes, the House of Fraser there is an amazing multi-storey car park? Multi-storey shopping block. And the best bit about it, champagne bar somewhere on the 3rd or 4th floor, cafe on the top floor, and also Cicchetti, which is nestled down on the ground floor. You'll get tons of really designer goods in there, the Mac counter, all your high street brands and clothes, great men's department downstairs. So if you haven't been to the House of Fraser, the Kendals, which I think is actually the first department store ever in the country, then that's a great place to go and shelter from the rain. When you pop out, go across the road to Waterstones, and it's a great Waterstones. It's one of their flagship Waterstones, one that's actually still called Waterstones. And if you get your way to the top floor, you can stop from all your book shopping and get yourself a fantastic coffee, or a bit of booze, because it's a great bookstore where you can read the books and buy yourself a bottle of wine or have some nice cakes. So the top floor of Waterstones is one of Manchester's best kept secrets. Take a right past the Paper Chase and suddenly you're in the opening areas of Market Street. This is where all the main hustle and bustle occurs, usually at the weekends. All the high street stores, Look, Primark, H&M, All Saints. Anyway, and loads of street performers and all that kind of stuff. But of course, if it's raining, what you want to do is dart into the Arndale. And the Arndale is one of the best shopping centres around. It's all undercover, multi-storey, and there are some great brands down there. Topman, Apple Store. They've got a new Nespresso store in there. I don't know if you're an Nespresso user. You just have to go to the Trafford Centre to get your Nespresso, or through the post. Well, they've got one down in the Arndale now as well. TK Maxx, Wilko, the Aldi, and of course the indoor market. Fantastic for fresh produce and fish and quirky stuff. So hang out in the Arndale. You can go from the Arndale, and if the weather's holding off a little bit, jump into the Northern Quarter. Places like Affleck's Palace, or all the independent little shops there. Great for second-hand goods, or as they like to call it, vintage, second-hand. Coffee shops, but mainly second-hand stuff actually. I'm sorry if there's more than second-hand stuff in the Northern Quarter, but it's normally just second-hand stuff. And Affleck's is great for all those little bits of trinkets and tattoos and thumb piercings and nose goggles. And then once you've done your little stint around the Northern Quarter, it's probably going to be drizzling on you again. So then you want to head a beeline towards King Street, where the more expensive shops are around Manchester. Start off with Agent Provocateur, Pretty Green, which is the Gallagher's shop. You've got the newly refurbed Rosso restaurant there if you're feeling a bit peckish. What's she called, that woman that does the punk stuff? What's she called her? Vivienne Westwood. So you could buy yourself something from Vivienne, get yourself some pink jobbers and carry on walking down King Street. Cath Kidston, White Stuff, Belstaff, Montblanc pens. Not a Montblanc pen, good estate agency, good guys. And then you tootle on back down towards Deansgate, and as you get back to Deansgate, you know what I'm going to say, you're on your home lap home. If it's raining, there's a little shortcut you can take. Now, I can't quite tell you how this works, but you can basically nip through a number of pubs and avoid getting wet. And you can stop and have a pint in those pubs where you could be wet on the inside. Then you're going to head back to Great Northern, and if you're feeling like you've bought some great stuff on your shopping trip, why not pop into Epinay Champagne Bar, where you can give yourself a little glass of fizz to celebrate and get rid of all that shopping guilt. The guys at Epinay, by the way, are also doing a gin symposium, so if you're into your gins, do check out the link below, because these guys are putting on a little event this week, which I think might be right up your gin street. You can wear your pink jobbers and go for a gin-carner. Back into the Great Northern Warehouse or back to the £4 parking, and boom, you're out of the city long before 5 o'clock. You've had a fantastic day shopping in Manchester, and the rain has only interfered with your hair just a little bit. So do make sure you like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and most of all, do stay wet around Manchester. To be honest, I lied. You're gonna get wet. But the shopping's worth it, right? Come on, stay mad about Manchester.